Welcome back all. Today I'm going to go ahead and talk about maps. So thus far it was like vector, DQ, string, and now we shall go and have a look at map. This part you do not need. This I included for some troubleshooting purposes. Anyway, I wrote the code out this time, mainly due to the fact that I've failed miserably when I attempted to cast this before for reasons that I shall get into in a moment because they are important to you as well. Anyway, so nothing really new, nothing really strange about this. You have seen most of the things as before. However, map basically consists out of pairs. So you have a key value pair. There is a key, which in this case is an int, and then there is a value, which in this case is a string. And here you have the name of the map, so it's numbers. So 0, it's basically, the string is 0, here the string is 1, and here the string is 2. Anyway, you can print them out like this, pretty much the same as you would print out the elements of the array or, I don't know, vector, whatever. It's very similar, but we can use this at 0. So we will accomplish the same thing. This is the recommended way of doing things, according to some people. Down below, we're going to go ahead and print out the size of the array, which is basically numbers.size. This is not the size in terms of bytes, like before. Do not confuse size of with size. Size is just going to tell you how many elements are there. How many elements does it contain? Anyway, this is the boolean that we're using. We're using the method empty here in order to check whether the map is empty or not. Same as before, no differences there. And here we're gonna go ahead and go hunting. So we'll go looking. We'll go looking. Let's put it like that. So we're looking for something within an array. So is there 222nd element? No, obviously not. The array has like 3. The size of the map is 3, so there are 3 elements in total, and obviously there is no 222nd element. Not gonna need this. Anyway, now notice that I have stated here. Well, basically, the auto will take the return value of find, and if it doesn't manage to find what it is looking for, it basically returns something strange, which is it returns an iterator to after the last element of the map. So let's say that the last element here is 0, 1, 2, and then 3. It would return the iterator that it would return would most likely be 3. So it's 0, 1, 2, and then 3 would be the iterator after the last one, because the last one is 2. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to actually print it out onto the screen because that results in undefined behavior. You see that I'm comparing the value of it now, whether it's equal to the method, to the return value of the .end method, which pretty much returns the same thing. And if it is equal to that, then I will state that the key has not been found, and here I will actually attempt to print the value of the fourth element, number 3, so it's 0, 1, 2, 3, but that's going to result in undefined behavior. I'm going to get an error or something like that will happen. But if I didn't want to do that, I could have also written it here. This would also not work. So don't really bother yourselves with getting the value of it. That's not really that important to you. You can just compare it to the end, and if it is found, okay. If it is not, then it's not. Move on. Here, let me just go ahead and run this program. This is going to crash most likely. Yep, there we go. It says terminate called after throwing an instance of std out of range. Now, if you're working with C++ 98, this is not going to happen. This should actually work, but it's not going to work the way you want it to work. You're going to have some problems. However, you're not going to get an exception that is thrown. But in C++ 11, you will. Anyway, if we just type in like 3 and run this, you'll see it says 0, the size of the array is 3, and it says that the key has not been found. Okay, let's not use 3, let's use, I don't know, 100 because the 3 is the size of the array. You see, we're printing the size of the array, and we're printing the first element of the array. So first element, and then the size, and then we're checking whether it's empty or not, and then we're looking for an element, and if it is found, it says key found, and if it is not found, it will say key not found. Okay, so it says 0, which is the first element, the size is 3, and the key indeed has not been found. If I type in, I don't know, like 1, you see it says that the key has been found. I guess we could print out the value as well, but no need at the moment, really. Just don't want to bother with that. We can actually delete it. It's really not that important. You can do it like this and run it. There, beautiful. Key found. It has been found in a successful manner. Okay, so next up we have down below here the initialization of map type. Days, and this is how you would initialize it. So days is pretty much the same as numbers, except we have initialized it in a different way, which is far more efficient. So initializing things like this and initializing things like this differs to a very large extent. First of all, you have to write less, and it's placed in a far more logical fashion. For example, this was the initialization method that was used in the keylogger for the purpose of mapping the keys on the physical keyboard. So you had a hexadecimal value, which was a key, and then you had a corresponding value, which was something that was human readable, so to say. I don't know. So letter T, the key T or the key set on your keyboard, they have hexadecimal values, and those were the keys, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. And then over here you had like, I don't know, set or U or enter or something like that. Anyway, down below, we have a standard for loop, and this is a standard method of printing out something onto the screen. Here you can see that I've used it in a different fashion, but I'm kind of used to using these forms as opposed to @ although you can use @ as well. Anyway, this is going to print out all of these onto the screen. All the days are going to be printed out onto the screen here. Let's just go ahead and do it one more time. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Excellent. So you notice that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 has not been printed out onto the screen like this. So these are just the iterators, the keys, and then you have the values, and each value has a corresponding key. Okay, so bid you farewell. That would be it as far as the maps are concerned. They aren't too complex. Pretty simple to comprehend. If you have any questions, throw them in the discussion section or in the Q&A section as it is called now.